How are we doing? Welcome back to another episode of Steel Talking Sports. My name is Jay Steele, and let's get talking. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday. It is Monday, May the 6th. We're about 3 or 4 hours away from tip-off time on our NBA games for tonight. So let's get this recorded. Let's talk some sports. Let's give you some updates. And I'll give you some picks for tonight and the remainder of the week as I see fit. Yeah.
And here we go.
Beautiful. Like I said, it's Monday, May 6th. We've got a couple of games kicking off tonight and one NHL playoff game. I'm going to take a look at the NBA bracket really quick. I'm going to show you my screen so you can see the bracket as we stand right now. Here we go. Think everyone can see that? Yep. Okay. Obviously we've got game 1 for the Thunder and Mavericks tomorrow night on Tuesday, so I'll skip over that for right now. Game 1 tonight, we have the Pacers versus the Knicks. I guess I can go in order. Like I said, Thunder advanced over the Pelicans 4-0 sweep. Mavericks had a great game 6 against the Clippers. I did pick the Mavericks in that game 6, so we would have won on that. I don't believe I actually played the line by itself. I did a player parlay and missed on something. But either way, I gave out 2 teams to win the West and make it to the NBA Finals and win the NBA Finals. They've got to face each other off in this series starting on Tuesday. So I'm very excited to watch that. I think it's going to be a very compelling series. I do see it going 7 games. I would imagine in the first 4 games, both teams win 1 at home and 1 on the road. They're very evenly matched. With all the rest, it may be a problem for the Thunder. All those young guys, they haven't played in like a week now because they've been waiting on this series. So maybe they're a little sluggish and Dallas steals game 1. That would be big for Dallas, obviously. But Dallas really needed to win that game 6, I think, and not go back home or not go back to LA for game 7. And also, I think Luka needed the rest because I wouldn't say he's 100%, but he's not 75 either. He needed a couple extra days of rest, and I think clinching that game 6 was really crucial for the Mavericks. Obviously, Kyrie had a huge last 2 games of that series. His dribble moves and step backs and threes in the face of taller defenders was exceptional. He certainly showed why he is one of the best ball handlers on the planet. He can simply just dribble in and out of any player on the court. Doesn't matter how big or fast they are. Kyrie can find a way, and when he gets in that shooting groove, man, look out, because everything is just touching the bottom of the net. No rim. He's exceptional, and I really think that Dallas has found their groove. Now, I did hate to see that huge fall that Maxi Kleber took early in that game. He kind of got undercut by Norman Powell, I think it was. That was unfortunate. I thought, Powell was in the right position to block or take a charge, and Kleber went up for a dunk. And instead of staying in position, the defender got out of the way, and Kleber just fell from 5 feet off of the ground. And when you're 6'10" and you land on your shoulder, rib cage, it's not good. Was proud of him to see him stay in there, shoot the 2 free throws. He missed the first and made the second, and then he played a good defensive possession down and back the court before Jason Kidd got him out of the game. but he did not return. So if he's out for the series, I do see that being a little bit of a struggle for the Dallas Mavericks, but their bench players showed up in that series, so I don't really see the bench production taking a hit. I honestly think it may help some of those guys like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. They seem to, embrace taking on a few more minutes. Even Derek Jones Jr., PJ Washington, obviously, like they have a squad there in Dallas. And then news today, I saw that Dallas signed Jason Kidd to an extension amid some rumors that he may be in the running for the Lakers job. Very happy to see that. Jason Kidd deserves it. He's done a great job with that Dallas Mavericks team. It's been a lot to deal with, like having Luka and then bringing Kyrie in. It didn't work last year, but now it's in a groove. Great job to the Mavericks organization, giving Jason Kidd an extension, and also great job by Jason Kidd not taking the Lakers job. He doesn't need that. He's better in the position that he's in right now. As far as the Lakers go, kind of expected that they would get rid of Darvin Ham. LeBron has too much influence on who the coach is, whatever team he plays for. But I guess since LeBron's out of the playoffs now, I'll give my prediction of what I think is going to happen to LeBron James this offseason. I don't think that LeBron is going to be a Laker next season. I'm going to look up the Lakers roster as it stands right now. Who's under contract for the next season? Because I have an interesting take on what I think LeBron is going to do. So let's see. Ooh-wee. Okay. So these players right now have to get a player option picked up or are a restricted free agency on June 29th. So I guess probably almost the beginning of the new league year, at the 1st of July. These players have to re-sign with the Lakers, otherwise they will be on a different team. D'Angelo Russell, Skylar Mays, whoever the hell that is, Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, LeBron James, also Max Christie. They've got a lot of work to do to restructure projected practical cap space, negative $82 million. You got a lot of work to do, especially with LeBron being a $51 million cap hit and Anthony Davis being a $43 million cap hit. Yeah, you got $94 million tied up in two players. Good luck. Good luck. But my take on what's going to happen with LeBron James. LeBron, I believe, is going to move on from the Lakers. I think that he is going to request a trade. And the only market that can handle LeBron now that he's been in LA is LA. So, therefore, with Steve Ballmer with the Clippers building a brand new arena so that the Clippers and the Lakers don't have to share an arena next season, he's also gone above and beyond as far as designing this thing. I think Ballmer trades away his entire team to the Lakers. That being Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. If they all go to the Lakers, fine. If pieces go elsewhere, fine. But I think LeBron plays for the Clippers next season, and I think LeBron convinces Steve Ballmer to draft his son, Bronny James, and Bron and Bronny play together at least for one season in LA as a Clipper. It'll be dirty. The NBA will hate it, but that's my prediction. I don't think he's going to go play with Steph. I think he goes to the Clippers across town. But let's get back to playoff talk. LeBron's out, so we can't talk about him anymore. Let's get over it. Like I said last week, the T-Wolves whooped up on the Suns. That was embarrassing. But in Game 1, man, did Anthony Edwards show out. That dude is a beast. You can't say anything else about him except that he's a beast. He has the determination to win. And this T-Wolves team is a lot better than people give them credit for. Obviously, they did not have any issues traveling to Denver with the elevation or anything. They did not let that affect them at all. So great Game 1 win. Let's see, that score was 106-99, but I mean they had an 18-4 lead with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, so they were up 14 early. The Nuggets came back. I think they had tied it, sometime late in the first quarter or maybe early second. You can't do that to the Nuggets. If you get up big on them, you need to bury them because they will scratch and claw and find a way back into that game. But looking at the box score, Anthony Edwards, 43 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, made 3 threes. Great job, Anthony Edwards. Superstar game, really putting himself to the top of the top as far as like next guys up in this league. So tonight, the spread opens up at Denver minus 4.5. Opened at Denver minus 4.5. It is now Denver minus 6.5. I would say that has to do with Rudy Gobert being listed questionable or doubtful tonight. Reports are saying that he had his first child with his wife. I'm guessing the baby was born today or yesterday, so it's possible that he will not be in the lineup today, understandably. So congratulations to Rudy Gobert on the birth of your firstborn child. If you do not play tonight, we totally understand. That is an honorable excuse to miss tonight's game. Having said that, I definitely look for the Nuggets to rebound in Game 2, whether Gobert plays or not. Getting beat on their home court after they just went 4-1 against the Lakers, I think they're going to have a sour taste in their mouth. I don't see them letting that happen again and going to Minnesota down 2-0. So I would definitely be on Denver. The 6.5 is a little big. I would rather be at that 4.5 number that it opened at. So if you have to get an alternate line on DraftKings or FanDuel, whatever you use, I would probably get under that 6 number. 2 3-point field goals is a big number in the NBA, and with the way that Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and some of those guys shoot on the T-Wolves team, I would not be surprised if they, got it back to a shorter number in the closing minutes of the game. But I would definitely be on Denver, and the total is at 208.5. I would definitely play the over because both of these teams can score. They don't really have any issues in that department. Back to the bracket here on the East side. Tonight we have the 6 seed Pacers going up against the 2 seed, the New York Knicks. If you followed along for the past couple of weeks, I did predict this. These two teams would advance. Obviously, the Pacers had some luck with the Bucks being injured. They were not at full capacity, so it's kind of an asterisk there, but still an NBA team, regardless, they made the playoffs, and they did what they needed to do and won 4 games. So they advance tonight. We've got that game at 7:30. on TNT. And the New York Knicks, the spread opened up at -6.5. It is now 5.5. That's pretty understandable. These teams are fairly close together as far as offensive capability and then roster build. Obviously, you've got some superstars on both teams. Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers is a 3-point threat and also an assist threat always. On the other side, you've got Jalen Brunson, the guy who he plays a lot bigger than what his stats say he is. I think he's listed at 6 feet or 6'1". Dude plays a lot bigger. 6'2", 190. Yeah, right. He plays like he's 6'4", 250. The guy is just a dog. I love watching him play basketball. His floaters, his three-pointers, his dribble game, everything about Jalen Brunson's game is amazing to watch. It's, in a way, he's like a left-handed Kyrie Irving. He makes plays and dribble moves that seem ridiculous. Floaters that, only Steph Curry has ever attempted in a playoff game. And his just will to win is higher than anybody else on the court, I think. So I'm going to keep riding the New York Knicks. I like this team a lot. I love to watch them play. I've said it 3 weeks in a row. I'm going to keep saying it. I like watching the Knicks. So give me the Knicks -5.5. The total is 217.5. I'm tempted to take the over because the Pacers can score a lot of points, and they also give up a lot of points because they don't really care about playing defense. But the Knicks, in their previous series against the 76ers, had a few games that were like way under. Let me see. Actually, game 1 and game 2 would have been overs. Or no, I'm sorry. Game 1 was an over. I think game 2 was an under by 1 or 2 points. Game 3 over. Game 4 under, over. Okay, so the overs definitely hit in the Knicks series. So yeah, I would say the over is a safe play as well. 217.5. Yeah, I see the Knicks taking this by 6 or 7 points. And these teams will put up 105 or 110 apiece at least. So take the over if you want to play the totals tonight. Last up in the NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference matchup between the 1 and the 4 seed, the Celtics and the Cavaliers, opens up tomorrow night on Tuesday. Boston is favored -11.5 in that game. Initially, I would just be on Boston minus the points. Cleveland just had to play a 7-game series against the Magic, which pretty much every game was competitive for at least portions of it. I know, yesterday's game is a 12-point win, but that was a lot closer game than that for the entirety of the game. In Game 6, Donovan Mitchell scored 50 points, but they lost. So Cleveland is an up-in-the-air team right now. I don't really know what to expect from them, but Boston's been on rest. They're really good. Derek White is had a phenomenal series against the Heat. I definitely look for him to maybe take the role of like the superstar scorer in this series. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are still going to get their 20 points apiece, but I think if Derek White goes for 20, it makes that team so much more dangerous that Tatum and Brown don't have to handle the ball as much. And with the way that Derek White was shooting threes, good Lord, watch out, dude. I mean, he had it going. So if he can do that again in the next series, Boston's a team to just get out of their way. So that wraps up my NBA talk. like I said last week, it kind of sucks as we move on in the playoffs because there's less teams available to watch and get down on some action. So we've got 4 games now that we're aligned on the same days now. Kind of. We've got game 1 of the Knicks and Pacers tonight, game 2 of the T-Wolves and Nuggets. So we're kind of off schedule a little bit, but at least tomorrow, with both of the 1 seeds playing, both of those will be game 1s. So those series will be matched up for the 1 seeds. So yeah, we're still looking good as far as our futures. Right now, I've got the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference. And then I've got both of these teams, the Thunder and the Mavericks, to win the NBA Finals. So I put out 3 futures. All 3 are still alive. So we're looking very good. I'm very excited about that, especially since I haven't been hitting my daily picks on a regular basis. So yeah, as a recap, for tonight in game 1 versus the Pacers and Knicks, Knicks minus 5.5. Later on, Denver is listed as minus 6.5. Buy that down to 5.5 or maybe 4.5. Get inside of that 6 number if you like Denver. As far as tomorrow night, Boston minus 11.5. Not much needs to be said there. And OKC is minus 3.5, but I'm going to be on Dallas. I like the Mavericks in that game. Like I said before, I think the Thunder have been on too much rest. So I think that game 1, the Mavericks come out and get that game in Oklahoma City. All righty. Stop sharing the screen for a few seconds. And yeah, let's get our shit together before we move on to some NHL. What do you say?
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Oh, man. I love Rick and Morty. That's a fucking classic scene from Morty, just telling Summer to get her shit together. Oh, it's so good. All right. 20 minutes in. Let's move on to some hockey. Pretty upsetting that the Canes dropped game 1 against the Rangers yesterday. But it did not go without one of the best clips you can see from a hockey player. So bear with me. There's not really like any audio, but I can commentate for you as it's going on. Basically, I'll give you a setup. There was a penalty called in the game for a tripping and then an elbow at the same time. They've got the wrong Hurricanes player in the penalty box, and the referees are discussing what the penalty may be. The guy who actually gets the elbowing penalty is on the bench, Tony DeAngelo. And in this clip that I'm going to show you, you can see that DeAngelo he's talking shit to one of the Rangers players. And if you love hockey and you love real sports and you love guys that the intensity is ramped up because it's the playoffs and they love their job, they love what they do, it's fucking hockey, then you love this. So yeah, I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to commentate as the video plays. And yeah. Fuck. Well, give me a moment. Hold on. Page refresh, so I got to get back to the time on the game. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Page refreshed. Well, as I wait for this, I will just kind of recap the game. The Rangers came out lightning fast in game 1. I hate watching this team. They suck. Not really. They're really fucking good. Okay, here we go. Got the page refresh back to the right point in the game. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen here, and away we go. So Tony D'Angelo here. He says, shut the fuck up. You want to fight? There's Coach Brendamore. Seth Jarvis is laughing. And look at this. He says, hey, fuck face. Oh, I just love that. I love that the camera caught D'Angelo right there. He looks over. He says, hey, fuck face. Yeah, like that's just, oh man, that's hockey right there. He's like, you want to fight? Like, I love hockey. Like they can't take that out of the game because it's just there. The players are built with it. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I just wanted to share that one little clip from the hockey game last night. But I will go back and let's check out the NHL bracket as it stands right now as well. Here we go. Everyone can see that. Beautiful. So yeah, okay. In the East, we had game 1 between the Rangers and Canes on Sunday. Stop calling me. Like I said, the Rangers won that 4-3. It honestly was not a close game. The Rangers scored 2 power play goals with a total of 22 seconds on the power play. I mean, the first power play, they won the face-off, made 4 or 5 passes, and in 8 seconds, the puck was in the net. It was ridiculous. We did score a beautiful goal like a minute or 2 later to tie it up 1-1. But a few minutes down the road, we got another penalty, and this time it took them 14 seconds to score on the power play. So, not good penalty kill defense from the Hurricanes. I was not excited to see that, especially since we were in the top of the league in penalty kill and power play for the entire season. So to see us give up 2 power play goals, with less than 30 seconds of ice time was pretty poor. I definitely think that Rod Brendamore lights a fire under his team, and they have a hard practice today, and he has them ready to go in game 2. So let's hope that that is the case. In the East tonight, the 1 and 2 seed. I'm sorry, not 1 and 2. Yeah. I guess they list the Panthers as 1 seed in their division. Got it. We've got the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. This is obviously a rematch of the first round matchup from last year. If you remember in that series, Boston went up 3-1. They were the President's Cup trophy leader with the most points in a season. I think it was the most points in NHL history, most wins, and then they lost a 3-1 series lead to the Panthers. It was pretty ugly. I don't see this series going 7. And unfortunately, I see the Panthers winning the series. The reason being is, 1, they've had more days of rest. Boston just had to complete a 7-game series against the Maple Leafs where they showed that they're having trouble scoring the puck. On the other hand, the Panthers are not having trouble scoring the puck. And Sergei Bobrovsky, Jesus, that name's hard to say. He is one of the best goaltenders in the league. He showed this last year. When the Hurricanes played the Panthers, he gave us fits left and right. The guy just plays bigger in the net than what his bio says he is. If it says he's 6 feet tall, he plays 6'6". I don't know how, but he's excellent at following the puck. He does a great job for them in net, and the Panthers have scrappy players that really get on your nerves. Now, I know Boston has the same with Brad Marchand. He's one of those pesky players that he will just annoy you and draw you into a penalty on yourself instead of him getting a penalty. He's great at that, but I do see the Panthers being able to get under their skin and win that series. I think the Panthers win it in 5, maybe 6. but in that first game, I'm definitely going to be on the Panthers. I know the money line right here says it's minus 170. It's kind of steep. I'm probably going to be on the puck line minus 1.5, whatever that number is. In the West, great job by Dallas taking out the defending champs, the Golden Knights, last night. I did not see that coming. I thought that the Knights would find a way to get it done in Game 7, but hats off to the Stars. So you've got two Dallas teams still alive in the playoffs, the Mavericks and the Stars. That Game 1 will drop the puck on Tuesday. Wow, that's weird. Okay. So we've got some mismatched dates for these series, but you've got the Stars taking on the Avalanche. Again, my handicap for this game is going to be the Stars are coming off a 7-game series, and the Avalanche finished in 4 or 5 days ago. So I'm going to be on the Avalanche to win Game 1 as the underdog. Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, those guys are just studs for the Avalanche. They fire the puck at the net. They get rebounds. Nathan MacKinnon is lightning fast. He's just like Connor McDavid. Those are the only two guys on the ice that are as fast as each other. Everybody else is 2 or 3 steps slower. So they can change the game with their speed, and I see the Avalanche getting that done in Game 1. Next up in the West, the other semifinal matchup, we have the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Edmonton Oilers. That series does not start until Wednesday. That's kind of weird since one of these series went 5 and one went 6. You would think that this series would start before the Stars did, who just played yesterday. So yeah, I don't know. This is kind of weird. Let me just see. Yeah, I mean, both of these teams last played on the 1st and the 3rd. Yeah, like why is this series taking so long to start? That doesn't make any sense. The Stars just played Game 7 on May the 5th, and now they're going to play Game 1 on May 7th. And yet, these teams have been done for 5 days and for 3 days. Why are they not starting on Monday, May 6th? Or even Tuesday the 7th? This makes no fucking sense. I like it because I like watching the Edmonton team play, but on Wednesday night, this is going to be the lone hockey game. Like, come on, guys, you got to do better scheduling. Like, when you're down to the semifinal matchups like this, you have 2 games. Like, take a 7 o'clock and take a 9 o'clock so you can double your viewership. Come on now, don't. This is sloppy. This is really sloppy. But there doesn't need to be much said. You take the Edmonton Oilers. They're hot. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I could go on and on. Their team is so freaking good. And this year, they've got it figured out. That series against the Kings was, I think that was the most important series for the Edmonton Oilers, except for like the West Finals, if they make the West Finals. Because the Kings is a team they've played 3 years in a row in the playoffs. All the other series go 6 or 7 games, and it's just brutally tough on Edmonton to the point that when they get to the next matchup, they're beat down and worn out. So now that Edmonton is going to be coming off of a week of rest when they play this first game, look at these score totals over here for the Oilers against the Kings, and then look at the Canucks against Nashville. 7 goals, 4 goals. It's 11, 17, 18, 22 goals scored in 5 games, compared to the Canucks scoring 1, 3, 7, 8, and 9. 22 goals to 9 goals. Yeah, it's not even a question. You take the Canucks. I mean, no, sorry. You take Edmonton. I don't even care that they're on the road in Vancouver. They're both in Canada. That don't make a fuck. Take the -1.5 with Edmonton at +180. Run to the bank. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. But I'm not done yet. So that's the preview for the games coming up the next few days. As far as the overall series goes, in the West, give me the Avs and give me the Oilers. So we'll have a Colorado Avalanche, Edmonton Oilers West Finals. And in the East, give me the Panthers. And even though we're down 1-0, give me the Hurricanes. If you want to look at some odds for these things, I will hop on over to, stop sharing my DraftKings page. Y'all don't want to see that. Whoa. But I will look at some DraftKings. I'm just not going to show you my homepage. Ooh. Don't want to be giving out any secrets and details that I don't need to. So just give me 1 second as the old DK loads up. Maybe. There we go. All right. So if you go on over here to the NHL tab on DraftKings, and scroll all the way to the right, click Team Futures. We can look at the teams remaining to win the Cup. You've got the Panthers at +425, Oilers +450, Rangers +550, Stars +550, Hurricanes +600, Avalanche +650, Bruins +1,000, and the Canucks +1,800. If you go over to the conference winners, this is where I feel like you can find some value and you could also make a little bit of money. For the East, the Panthers to win +200, the Rangers +240. If you like the Rangers, they're up 1-0 in our series, and obviously they still have a series to play, but you can get them at +240 to win the East right now. That's pretty good value. The Hurricanes being down +1-0 and still +300, I think that's mispriced. I think they should be priced outside of Boston just because Boston hasn't played a game yet in their series. But Boston at +450. And then over to the West, to win the West, Edmonton +180, Stars +240, Avalanche +260, and the Canucks +650. I would not advise you to take the Canucks to win the West, but if you like Vancouver, that is a very good number. But they have a very tough matchup in the Edmonton Oilers. Now there is if you go to this option right here, the playoff series props, this is super interesting. Because if you want like Edmonton to just win the series or the Canucks, like you can take it on this and get some better value than the game by game. But for me, I'm looking at something like Edmonton -2.5 games. So Edmonton would have to win 4-1. I like that at +180. Even as just a safe play, Edmonton -1.5 games at -140. Yeah, that's about all that I like there. There's not really anything worth betting on that. Alrighty. I think that is going to wrap it up for today. I do want to give out, yeah, let's do a little player prop parlay for the people on an NBA night. I'm going to build a same game parlay here on DraftKings, and I'm going to let you know what I am doing as I am going and what those odds are. And if you would like to tail, um, then you are welcome to do so. So let's see. For the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks game, let's go. Jalen Brunson points over under 36 and a half. Whew. Yikes. That boy is cooking. But 36 and a half? No way. No way. Let's see. We're going to go Josh Hart points over 15 and a half. We're going to go with Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 3-pointers made. And building these same game parlays is tough. I really enjoy it because it gives you a different reason to watch the game. Besides just the score at the end, you're rooting for like one guy to make 3-pointers, one guy to get rebounds. It's a fun way to watch a game. I will say I'm not that successful with them. I have some streaks where I'll hit a couple in a row, but more often than not, like if I pick 4 picks, points, rebounds, assists, whatever, I usually hit 3 of them. And then if I go down to like a 3 pick, I hit 2 of them and I miss the third. If I pick 5, I get 4 of them right. So I'm always right on the cusp. It's just about finding the right guys that are going to play enough minutes and actually be active on the court. There's some players that you might as well just play all of their unders because they don't do anything on the court. Like if your name was Tobias Harris for the Philadelphia 76ers, all anybody should do is play your unders because you're trash. I don't know how you've accumulated $250 million in earnings in the NBA when you don't do anything. It's a useless player. All right, so we got Josh Hart over 15.5 points. Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 3-pointers made. I'm going to go Jalen Brunson over 4.5 rebounds. Right now, that is a plus 550 player parlay. So a little 5.5 to 1. And I'm going to add in Obi Toppin for the Pacers over 9.5 points. I really liked what I saw out of him in game 6, I believe. He had a huge game that just pushed him over the edge. So yeah, 9.5 points. I think that's pretty easy. So we've got Josh Hart over 15.5 points, Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 threes, Jalen Brunson over 4.5 rebounds, and Obi Toppin 9.5 points or more. That is a plus 1,000 play. 10 to 1. $5 wins you 50. $10 wins you 100. You're very welcome. My name is Jay Steele. This is Steele Talking Sports. Thank you for joining in. Please follow me on YouTube at Steele Talking Sports. Follow me on Twitter at Steele_Talking. I will continue to put up content every Monday, sometime around the 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try to have these videos uploaded about 1 to 2 hours before the 7 o'clock games start off. So it gives you time to spend 30 minutes and watch this before the games kick off, and you can kind of know what's what for the next day or two. Again, my name is Jay. Thank you for listening in. I know it's hard to listen to my voice for 45 minutes. It's hard for me to do it as well. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
It's the doc with a boner, drag weeds.
I don't even know what your name is, bud.